Blessed be God, every time we merit to speak words of the living God, words of Torah, in this holy place, in the sanctuary of God, at the stone from which all the flocks are watered, we feel the greatest joy. The words of Torah spoken here are inscribed in the foundational books and in the chronicles of Shuv Yisrael for generations to come. And every lesson given here, every word of Torah spoken in this place is another kitchen, another floor, another layer. In the building of Torah and in the development of the worldview of Shuv Yisrael, the worldview of Shuv Yisrael, the path that our honored teacher and rabbi imparts to all of Israel, especially through this place, is a wondrous and unique thing, unparalleled and without equal. Let us truly pay attention to what the Torah demands of us, what the Torah wants to be conveyed to us. The Torah was written thousands of years ago. There are many books that have been written in recent years, but the main part of the Torah, the foundation of the Torah, the basis of the entire Torah, the 5 books of Moses, the Mishnah, the Gemara, these things were written thousands of years ago. Seemingly, how are they relevant to our times? Almost none of the challenges that the Jew faced at the time when the Torah was written are still relevant. They're not relevant today. Everything has changed. Everything has been renewed. A Jew who dealt with something specific at the time the Torah was given, at the time the Gemara was given, today there is no Jew who faces those same challenges. And the challenges that Jews face nowadays, day in and day out, are not the same challenges that were faced when the Torah was written. So this is a very complex matter and a very difficult task. Or people just repeat the things that the Torah wrote as they are, and then it's not relevant and doesn't apply to people who need to cope with daily life, to withstand temptations and to face difficult things. Or there are people who don't have the education or even the ability to understand what was written in the Torah at all. And so under the title of Torah lessons, they say all sorts of platitudes and things that aren't really connected to the Torah, and they market it as Torah teachings, claiming that it's for the benefit of the public and that it's an obligation and a good thing to listen to. But what does the Torah really expect from us? That we know how to take the things that seem so outdated, the things that were written in a style and manner from thousands of years ago, and that we know in clear language and in a straightforward way how to connect them to our own times, to explain how each and every person can deal with these things in our times, and not to say that the Torah is ancient and irrelevant, and not just to read the Torah as it is, but to make the right combination, and to find the right way to teach the Torah in the correct and authentic way for this generation. Because every generation needs to change not the Torah, but the wrapping of the Torah, the way the Torah wants to impart its message to us according to that generation. And we see this in a tangible and so clearly visible way in what the Torah writes 2 portions ago. In what the Torah writes 2 portions ago. 2 portions ago, at the end of Parashat Shelach, the Holy Torah writes about the incident where Miriam the prophetess spoke Lashon Hara, slander, about Moses, our teacher. Moses, our teacher, the great leader of the congregation of Israel. The greatest of the greats, Miriam, the righteous prophetess, whose passing we read about in this very portion, and Aaron, the high priest, both of them come together and cast doubts on the leadership of Moses, our teacher, and on the things that Moses, our teacher, does. God is very strict about them speaking against Moses, so he strikes Miriam with severe leprosy over her whole body. Moses calls out to God saying, "Please God, heal her now." God replies, "She must be excluded from the camp for 7 days. Why?" The Holy One, blessed be He, says, if her father had spit in her face, if Miriam's father had not been pleased with her behavior, how would he have reacted to her? He would have spit in her face. She would not have had to feel ashamed. She would not have had to be embarrassed for 7 days. All the more so, when I, the Holy One, blessed be He, rebuke her, when I, the Holy One, blessed be He, am not pleased with her behavior, how much more so should she be rebuked and sit outside the camp for 7 days? This is what the Torah says. What do we learn from this? That in the period when the Torah was written, in the time when the Israelites left Egypt, in the time when Miriam was a little girl, a parent who was not pleased with their child's behavior would spit in their face. And this was the simplest way. And the Torah wrote about it and instructed it. Is this how we are supposed to behave today? Will we behave like this in another 100 years? Did people act like this 1,000 years ago? If we pay attention, 1,000 years after the Torah was written, the Targum Onkelos, which is probably the first book written after the Bible to explain the Bible, how does Onkelos describe this verse, this matter? When the Holy One, blessed be He, says to Moses, our teacher, if Miriam's father had rebuked her, she would have been ashamed. How does Onkelos, who comes to translate things precisely, change from the words of the Torah? The Torah said, if her father had spit in her face. Onkelos changes it and says, if her father had rebuked her. How does that make a difference? Rather, these are the true sages of Israel. This is the true path of God to know how to adapt the Torah for each generation in the way the Torah itself intends. The Torah does not say that children should behave recklessly and parents should remain silent. In the time of the Torah, it was a spit in the face. In the time of Onkelos, it was a rebuke that a parent gives to their child. This continued like that throughout all the generations. Absolutely not. 1,000 years later, when Rashi writes his commentary, what does Rashi write? How does Rashi interpret and explain this matter? If Miriam's father wanted to rebuke her and spat in her face, how would Miriam react? Rashi writes that if Miriam's father showed her an angry face, not spitting in her face, not rebuking her, just showing her an angry face, he would show her an angry expression and wouldn't even say a word to her, wouldn't scold her. The Torah changes from generation to generation, and again the Jewish people, following the path of our honored teacher and rabbi, have the renewed tools for teaching Torah according to the generation and the times. According to the decline of the generations, according to the complexity of the generation, the Torah also changes. One of the greatest halachic authorities of the Jewish people, Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, writes, he actually asks, the people of Israel, as we read in the recent Torah portions, the people of Israel received the Torah. After 40 days, the Israelites made the golden calf. Moses had already brought down the Torah, but when he saw that the Israelites were making the golden calf, rebelling against the Holy One, blessed be He, Moses took the tablets and shattered them. Moses took the tablets and smashed them, breaking them into pieces, and essentially the Torah was taken away from the Israelites. After the Israelites atoned and asked the Holy One, blessed be He, for forgiveness, Moses went up again for 40 days to receive the Torah from the beginning. He raises a question. After all, Moses knew the Torah. Moses did not forget the Torah. The entire Torah was in Moses' mind, and it was the same Torah. So all Moses had to do was repeat the same Torah. Moses studied the Torah for 40 days. He didn't need another 40 days to learn the Torah again. He could simply transmit the Torah. But what does he write? A rabbi who leads a generation of righteous people is not the same as a rabbi who leads a generation of wicked people. A rabbi who leads a generation of righteous people, the Torah is straightforward. It can be explained and everyone understands. A rabbi who finds himself in a generation that faces challenges, that has difficulties, that is complex, that is a completely different Torah. He needs another 40 days to learn the Torah in a way that is relevant, renewed, and suited to those people. So, with God's help in this way, with the honor of our teacher and master, Rabbi Meir, who is with us, we proceed to clarify and explain the Torah in the right and fitting way. We want to clarify the commandments that we were commanded regarding them, and they are mentioned in this portion, which is Parashat Chukat. It is a portion rich in commandments, rich in deeds, rich in matters that have such a great impact on everyone who is part of the people of Israel, and on everything that concerns the people of Israel. Starting from the first commandment, the commandment of the Red Heifer, which is a significant commandment with tremendous power and weight. Let's think for a moment, what is the purpose of the commandment of the Red Heifer? What is the impact of the commandment of the Red Heifer on the people of Israel? Is it a commandment today? Seemingly, it is no longer relevant. It is a commandment that can no longer be fulfilled. It cannot be performed in our times. It is not possible. When the temple is rebuilt and the Messiah arrives, there will again be a Red Heifer. But today, the commandment is irrelevant. When it was relevant, what did it accomplish? It purifies a person who became impure through contact with a corpse. Corpse impurity is the most severe impurity that can exist. There is no impurity more difficult or complex. Nothing distances a person from the Holy One, blessed be He, more than corpse impurity. This severe and complex impurity is purified by the ashes of the red heifer, which purifies a person from it and enables him to return to holiness. All this impurity, all the impurities and purities and these matters that existed in the time of the sages are things that are not present today in a tangible way, but they are still present in our lives. What does this mean? It means that a person who is dealing with the peak of complexity, with the height of difficulties, with the greatest severity, what is it that can purify him? What is it that can return him to his purity, to his previous state, to his atonement? The red heifer. When the temple stood, this was the solution. In our times, apparently, we don't have it. We don't have this miraculous solution where a person who has become impure with the most severe spiritual impurity, a person dealing with material complexities, that is financial difficulties, the most serious and terrible family problems, could, in just a few days with the ashes, by undergoing the process of the red heifer's ashes, elevate himself, become sanctified, and be purified from all these impurities. Seemingly this is something impossible, but no, as we said, every commandment and every matter is also relevant to our times. Either a person fulfills the commandment in practice and is thus elevated, or a person delves deeply into the Holy Torah, into the commandments, into the Torah, into the verses that teach about that commandment. And from this a person draws strength. And from this a person learns the main principles and foundations. And through this he merits the same influence that the Torah has given. We recently told an important Jew a remarkable thing about this. If we pay attention, almost throughout the entire Talmud, there is Rashi's commentary on the Talmud. 3 weeks ago, we spoke in praise of Rashi, the great of Israel, who interpreted the entire Torah for us. On almost all tractates of the Talmud, he merited that his commentary would be printed as the central work that clarifies the Gemara. However, one of the most prominent tractates where there is a change is tractate Moed Katan. In Moed Katan, there is a commentary attributed to Rashi that is regarded as his own. And for years, everyone has studied it, convinced that it is Rashi, saying, here, Rashi explains the Gemara. This isn't Rashi's. His commentary is at the end of the tractates as Rashi from manuscript. It's by another great righteous sage. We sat and thought to ourselves, why did this happen to Rashi? This seems like a great injustice, and it's difficult for Rashi, who toiled and wrote commentary on most of the tractates. For every tractate on which he wrote a commentary, the commentary exists, printed, engraved, and everyone reads it. Rashi made great efforts. He devoted immense physical and spiritual effort, sanctifying himself to compose the commentary on Tractate Moed Katan, but divinely it remained unprinted and excluded from the tractate. Seemingly, why is that? Why was this merit withheld from Rashi, that for generations upon generations, elders, youths, and children of all ages and all levels of education and wisdom would not study his commentary on Moed Katan? So, if we pay attention, as we said, there are commandments that a person fulfills. Through action, a person fulfills a commandment, he has fulfilled his obligation and attained the spiritual completeness that one is meant to achieve through this commandment. And there are commandments that a person cannot fulfill. So through study, through the effort he invests in learning and understanding the matter well, he merits that same spiritual influence. If we pay attention to Moed Katan, to what topics the tractate Moed Katan deals with, anyone who has studied the tractate knows it deals with 2 topics. One topic is all matters related to agricultural growth. A person grows the produce of the land, the vineyard, the trees, the orchards, all these things. Is he allowed to tend to the orchards and these places during Chol HaMoed, or is it forbidden? In the sabbatical year, all the prohibitions, a great many of the prohibitions in the Gemara that forbid tending to trees, tending to fields for a farmer who works the land, are clarified in Tractate Moed Katan. Secondly, the laws of mourning, or the laws of mourning for someone who has lost a loved one, someone who is dealing with the passing of someone close to them. All of this is found in Tractate Moed Katan. Rashi himself dealt with both of these things in his own life. Rashi, as we know, lost his wife when he was very young. When Rashi was very young, his wife passed away and left him. There is a debate whether it was with 2 sons, 2 daughters, or 3 daughters. She left him alone and he had to raise the children. Rashi struggled greatly in his life with this matter of mourning. Rashi also struggled greatly with the issue of agriculture. Rashi, as everyone knows, was a working man, a person who made his living by the work of his hands. He cultivated vineyards, and from the grapes of those vineyards he produced wine and sold the wine. Rashi dealt with these 2 matters in a very difficult and complex way. He dealt with these 2 matters well, stood up to the test, and passed the trial that the Holy One, blessed be He, tested him with. He did not need the merit of the commentary on this tractate. He fulfilled it in action. He did not need the merit that people would study this matter. Other matters that Rashi perhaps dealt with less, for those Rashi wrote the commentary in order to attain spiritual completeness. Regarding the tractate Demai, which Rashi actually dealt with in practice, perhaps he needed this completeness of the commentary. So Rashi left it for another righteous person and for another time. So it is clear that if in our times we cannot purify ourselves through the Red Heifer to attain spiritual completeness, to merit the spiritual light, we must do so by understanding this commandment. And if we truly understand this commandment, we can merit tremendous light, the opening of the fountains of wisdom, the opening of the fountains of knowledge, the opening of good fortune, all of these things. We know that the Mishneh Lamelech writes that he has a tradition and is certain that how did the sages of Israel write the Talmud in Babylonia? After all, we know that the air of the land of Israel makes one wise. In the land of Israel, there is power, there is spirituality, there is the merit of knowledge, there is a very great capacity for thought. Outside the land of Israel, this does not exist. Outside the land, there is the impurity of foreign lands. It is a foreign land. Very serious matters. The sages of the Talmud, the sages of the Gemara, nevertheless managed to write the Gemara. So the Mishneh Lamelech writes that he is certain. How did they manage to write it? Because they brought with them ashes of the red heifer to Babylonia. The same goes for all the teachings of Kabbalah. The Holy Ari was privileged to reveal secrets of the Torah, hidden secrets, mysteries that cannot be understood by human intellect. How did he merit them? How did he attain them? So the Cheetah writes in the desert, in one of his books, the Cheetah writes that even though that he did not see it, and he did not hear it, and he did not find any hint of it, yet he is certain of this matter, that the Holy Ari merited to be purified by the ashes of the red heifer, and through this he attained all the secrets of the Torah. So if we delve deeply enough and thoroughly enough into these laws, if we immerse ourselves in these rulings, we too can become purified and merit all this abundance and goodness. The laws of the red heifer are vast, numerous, and all-encompassing. The impure becomes pure, and the pure becomes impure. We want to start by focusing on the beginning. And at the end of the topic of the red heifer, some of these things we discussed in previous years, but over the years and with time, many more things have been added to this, and to understand the depth of the mitzvah of the red heifer. So the Holy One, blessed be He, commands Moses our teacher, and they shall take to you a red heifer, meaning that if someone becomes impure through contact with a corpse, they need to bring a red heifer to Moses our teacher. And the Holy One, blessed be He, defines what the red heifer is, what the definition of the red heifer is according to its purification process through the procedure performed with it, will grant complete purity, complete holiness, and all these things. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, this is the statute of the Torah which the Lord has commanded, saying, speak to the children of Israel that they shall bring you a red heifer, perfect, without blemish, upon which no yoke has come. The Holy One, blessed be He, defines and tells Moses, our teacher, that every red heifer must have three components, three things in order for it to even be possible to begin the entire process as a red heifer. First, a perfect red heifer, a cow that is completely red in its coloring. It must be entirely red, not a bit of white, not a bit of black, not a bit of green, but completely red. First, it must have no blemish or any defect. If it was scratched, hit, or shoved, none of that is allowed. It must be a complete cow. Third, no yoke has ever been placed upon it. It has never carried a load or bag, absolutely nothing. It is free, entirely red, and has no blemish whatsoever. This is the cow that could be brought to Moses, our teacher. Seemingly, what are the secrets behind this? What is the meaning of it? If, for example, a non-Jew once put a small bag on the red heifer, it's disqualified. It can no longer be used and cannot perform its function. Why? Anyone who delves into the writings of our sages knows there are very great secrets in this matter. As the righteous Rabbi Meir mentioned, the expression red heifer does not simply refer to a cow wandering in the street. Absolutely not. The term parash, is actually a concept that, according to Kabbalah and the mystical tradition, alludes to all the judgments in the world. All the difficulties, all the challenges, all the complexities, everything that appears to us as evil existing in the world, its number, its count in the heavens is parash. 280, there are 280 types of judgments, difficulties, complexities, suffering, all these things, which are all the things that make us uncomfortable and that we don't feel good with. And how do these things manifest in the world? How do these things descend into the world? After all, we know that the Holy One, blessed be He, created the entire world through the 22 letters of the language, of the Holy Tongue, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, everything in the world, human beings. Places, creatures, times, everything was created by the combination of different letters. What is the combination that caused and created the complexity, the difficulty in the world? The final letters. Mem, Nun, Tzadi, Pe, Kaf. These are the final letters. These are the letters of judgment in the world. There is the regular P, which is a chapter of kindness, of goodness, of mercy. The final P is the letter that brings judgments, brings difficulties, brings challenges. These are our judgments, these disturbances. The final letters, all the difficulties and all the challenges and all the complex things, all these things, where do they come from? From the final letters in the Hebrew alphabet, their various combinations and different connections are what create the difficulties, complexities, and all the terrible things and hardships in a person's life. A few months ago, we spoke about a very important principle regarding this. The Gemara in Tractate Megillah says that the final letters, Mem, Nun, Tzadi, Peh, Chaf, where did they come from? How were they added to the world? How were they born into the world? The seers from above. The Gemara says that in a certain sense, as the Gemara states at the beginning of Tractate Megillah, there was a period, for a long time, the Jewish people didn't know exactly where these letters belonged, which caused much confusion and complexity until the seers finally arrived and established them. That's the Gemara's simple meaning. But on a deeper level, what does this tell us? All the world's complex laws and matters, who established them? The seers called Tzofim, who lived during or just after the prophetic era, they established the letters called Menatzpach. So we said and explained that. The Tosafot there write, where is this word taken from? After all, people who are prophets, people who know what will happen in the future, we call them prophets, seers, visionaries, but nowhere do we call them Tzofim. From where? So they understand that it comes from the verse, your watchmen lift up their voices, with their own eyes they see the Lord returning to Zion. Watchmen cry out as they see the Lord return to Zion. These people created the letters Man, Samech, Pe, Chet, meaning they established the laws. Why did they do so? They are prophets, they are good people, holy people. But we have explained and said that the word prophet, from its root, comes from the word to bring. Prophets bring something distant. There is something that does not exist, and they bring it. So what is actually the role of a prophet? To warn about a future reality that does not exist right now. There can be a situation where everything is good, there is abundance, there is blessing, there is happiness, there are all the good things. A prophet stands at the height of good times and says, be careful, do not sin. Difficult and complicated times can come, even for no one. On the contrary, there are complicated times, times of hardship, times of suffering, and the prophet stands and says, take heart, strengthen your spirit, do not lose hope. Good times will come, times of abundance, of light, of joy, of all that is good. A prophet brings a different era. He hints at and speaks about another period. A watcher, on the other hand, does not speak about a different era. He speaks about what he sees. He is a watcher. He cannot understand anything else. He watches, and what he sees, that is what he does. This is also the wording of the verse. Every watcher, all will enter. All Israel. One sign is enough. The God of your fathers has sent me to you. The holy name, I will be what I will be. One of the miracles and wonders among the magicians, this too, seemingly, is a very great sign that the Holy One, blessed be He, can give. This as well is a very great sign that the Holy One, blessed be He, that Moses, our teacher, can tell the children of Israel. We know that a person must be careful from whom he hears Torah. A person must be careful from whom he receives. A person must be careful from whom he brings himself salvations and great things. What is the only criterion by which one can measure a person, whether he has good character traits, whether he brings about salvations, whether he performs miracles, whether he has the power to bless, all these things, it is through the Torah. The power of the Torah can be tested. God told Moses, you are going to the children of Israel and they will test you. Are you worthy? Are you a true or false redeemer? How so? Come to this mountain, you shall serve me. When you arrive at Mount Sinai, you shall serve me. Through the Torah to be revealed, they will test you, and through it they will truly know who you are and align themselves with you. What does God say to Moses? They won't believe me. They aren't at the level to test someone on Torah. They lack that stature. So, what does God give to Moses? Three main signs. The first sign, I will be what I will be. This holy name hints that the Holy One, blessed be He, is with every person in every trouble and distress. What's the third sign? God tells Moses, the God of your fathers sent me to you. Tell the children of Israel that the God of their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has sent you to me. A third thing, miracles, signs, and wonders. Let's pay attention in a simple way. People who don't know much Torah, people who don't have the strength or ability to truly discern whether someone is a Torah scholar or not. What draws them to people who define themselves as rabbis? Three things. They use encouragement, saying, it will be good for you, and offer comfort. Or through ancestral merit, recognizing someone as righteous and holy to follow, or by performing miracles. It happens through these three ways. Or a person from whom they hear encouragement, or a person they see has ancestral merit, or a person they see performs miracles and brings about salvations. This is the holy name. I will be what I will be. The first sign, the Holy One, blessed be He, is with you in every trouble. What is that? These are the encouragements. This is the Holy One. Blessed be He, with you in every trouble. These are the comforts, all these things. What is the second? The God of your fathers, I am yours. Ancestral merit, the God of the fathers. The third thing, the miracles, the signs and wonders, the staff that turned into a snake, the whole staff that turned into a snake, all these things, the signs, the wonders, and the miracles. But God wasn't satisfied with just one. He could have told Moses to say, you have ancestral merit from your forefathers, and they would have believed him. Or if Moses had encouraged them, saying, God is with you, don't worry, they also would have believed. But what did God reveal here? If you don't judge by the Torah, don't judge by these things. He gives encouragement. He might have just read it in a book before his sermon. Why judge by miracles and signs? Maybe he's like Balaam the wicked, who performed miracles and wonders and things like that. Are you judging a person based on the merit of his ancestors? A person can have a very great lineage, and he can be corrupt and rotten, and God forbid what happens to him, and all his ancestors are ashamed of him. If you don't have the ability to judge a person according to his Torah, only if he possesses all three signs, all three things together, then you can believe him. Only if you see in him miracles, words of Torah that strengthen and also the merit of his ancestors. Only then should you trust him, believe in him, and know that he is a true leader if you don't have a way to judge him by the Holy Torah. Strong, righteous one. It is written that a wise man's curse, even if conditional, always comes true, right? A wise man, even if he curses a person and the curse is not precise, if the wise man was misled, it still comes true. Why a wise man's curse instead of a righteous one's? God may ignore a righteous person, but he listens to a wise man who foresees the consequences of his words. We know that one of the foundations and one of the most important things in Jewish faith, in the whole Torah, in everything, is simplicity. That a person should be simple before the Holy One, blessed be he. The commandment of simplicity, walking after the Holy One, blessed be he, with simplicity, is something tremendous and awe-inspiring. What does simplicity mean in the Holy Tongue? Wholeness. The Holy One, blessed be he, does not find wholeness. The Holy One, blessed be he, does not find all the qualities in a person unless he has. We must walk with simplicity before the Holy One, blessed be he. We learn this whole matter from our Torah portion, where the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, "This is the statute of the Torah which the Lord has commanded." This is the statute of the Torah. A statute? What is a statute? So our sages tell us, the sages of blessed memory say, that a statute is something that comes from the word decree, something we have no permission to question, something we have no right to challenge, to try to understand it, to try to delve into its depths, a statute. That is how it was decided, that is how it was stated. We are forbidden to change it and forbidden to say anything about it. From here we learn all about innocence, about all these things for all the commandments. From the fact that the Holy One, blessed be he, said that this commandment must be fulfilled with innocence and not to investigate or inquire into it, we learn from here about all the commandments and all matters that they must be fulfilled with innocence. We thought to ourselves some time ago, seemingly this commandment, the commandment of the Red Heifer, is a commandment from which Aaron, the high priest, Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, was completely excluded. In whose hands is the Red Heifer carried? We know it is in the hands of the deputy of the priest. There is the high priest, and there is his deputy, whom we can call the general priest. And if he cannot serve as a priest, then the deputy priest is the one who serves in the high priesthood. The deputy priest, the commandment of the Red Heifer, is a commandment given to him, and it is the deputy priest who handles all the dealings with the Red Heifer. Aaron the priest, the high priest, apparently he has no connection at all to the Red Heifer. Why? There are many explanations. Some say the Red Heifer atones for the golden calf sin. Since Aaron was involved in that sin, he was distanced from this ritual because an accuser cannot become an advocate. If Aaron has no connection to this commandment, why did the Holy One, blessed be he, give it to both Moses and Aaron? The Holy One should have told only Moses, who would then inform Eleazar the priest. Why does the Holy One, blessed be he, say it to both Moses and Aaron? Rather, there is a secret and a great lesson here that many people overlook and do not pay attention to. Moses, our teacher, what is the banner that he raises? What is the sign that Moses, our teacher, makes in the world? What is the thing that Moses, our teacher, bequeathed to the world? The Holy Torah, faith in the Holy One, blessed be he. All of the Torah comes from Moses, our teacher. Moses, our teacher, taught us the Torah. He was the conduit for transmitting the Torah to the people of Israel from the Holy One, blessed be he. All the faith, the miracles, the signs, the wonders, all our faith in the Holy One, blessed be he, where does it come from? From Moses, our teacher, who split the sea for us, which is the foundation of faith for all generations. Moses, our teacher. Who did the Holy One, blessed be he, descend from the heavens to Mount Sinai and speak to the children of Israel just so they would believe in him? Moses, our teacher. All faith in the Holy One, blessed be he, comes from Moses, our teacher, Aaron the high priest. On the other hand, what does Aaron the high priest symbolize among the people of Israel? Aaron the high priest represents all the matters between a person and his fellow. Carefulness, when a person is careful in matters between one person and another, a person who is careful not to hurt his friend, not to harm his friend, not to embarrass his friend, all these things, where are they learned from? Where is their root? Where does their power in the world come from? From Aaron the high priest? This is the strength and greatness of Aaron the high priest, both in their lives and after their deaths. Even after their deaths, each of these righteous people gives strength to those who struggle with these matters. Where did they pass away? Moses, our teacher, where did he die and where was he buried? Near the land of Moab, opposite Beit Peor. What is the land of Moab opposite Beit Peor? And Aaron the high priest, where did he pass away? Aaron the high priest passed away near the estate, near the place of Esau the wicked. That's where Aaron the high priest passed away, and that's where Aaron the high priest Aaron the high priest died and was buried there. Why weren't their bodies brought into the land of Israel? After all, being buried in the land of Israel is a tremendous and sublime merit. Why didn't Moses and Aaron merit this? So, from the writings of the Shlita and others, we learn that everyone who remains in the land of Israel is surrounded only by holiness. If these righteous individuals are buried in the land of Israel, they merit a great holiness from the highest heavens, But outside the land, there are desires, there are difficult things, there are very strong destructive forces. Therefore, they were buried there in order to protect the people of Israel from all kinds of hardships. Aaron, Moses our teacher, who is the foundation of the Torah, who is the foundation of faith, where was he buried? Near the land of Moab, near Beit Peor. The land of Moab, Beit Peor, all these things, what do they represent? They represent desires, the baseness of man. Moab, we know where they come from the daughter of Lot who was with Lot. That's from Moab. The people of Midian, who were opposite Beit Peor, that's where all the sins of promiscuity and terrible things happened. These are things that come from the baseness of man. A person who doesn't have great inner strength, that's why he goes against the Torah and doesn't listen to the Torah. Aaron the high priest, where did he pass away? Aaron the high priest died and was buried near the inheritance of Esau. Esau, what does that represent? Disputes, judgment, wanting to quarrel with others, wanting to create conflicts with others. That's Aaron the high priest. He passed away there to protect all those who struggle with anger, difficulties, and terrible things. Here we see in this commandment of the red heifer that innocence is given both to Moses and to Aaron. Why? It's a mistake that many people make. Many people think that innocence is important, but when it comes to God, when it comes to the Torah, when you study Torah and don't fully understand how everything fits together, you need to accept what the Torah says with innocence. When you encounter challenges of faith, when you come across something in reality that you don't understand, how God fits into it and how divine providence works in it, what do we do then? We believe in God with innocence, but people don't believe innocently in the love of Israel. They don't believe innocently in the connection that should exist among the people of Israel. Someone sees something bad, so he says, about his friend, he says, I understand this completely. I know this absolutely. Everything is clear to me and I'm fine with it. People don't think that innocence is also needed in the love of Israel. That's why, regarding this commandment of innocence, what does God do? He tells it both to Moses and to Aaron. Why? To teach us that this principle of innocence in serving God, innocence with the Holy One, blessed be He, is not only about the Torah, it's not only about faith in God, it's not just about those things, it's also about faith and innocence in God and all the things that Moses, our teacher, brought into the world, but also about Aaron the high priest, also about the things that Aaron the high priest brought into the world, love of Israel, affection, and love that should exist between one person and another. All these things, there too, the foundation must be innocence, and these matters, innocence and this idea. Yesterday we shared a special and very important interpretation. The students from Ashkelon who are here heard it, so now we'll say it for the students from Ashdod. The Gemara, the very first Mishnah in Tratate Berakot, opens and says, what does the Mishnah say? From when do we recite the Shema in the evenings? From the time when the priests enter to eat their teruma. Rabbi Hakadosh, Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, when he opened the Mishnah, when he opened the book of books of Judaism, the beginning of the oral Torah, Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi chose to begin with this law. From when do we recite the Shema? At night. From when do we recite the Shema? During the evening time. At night. From when do we recite the nighttime Shema? From when? From the time when the priests enter to eat their teruma. What is this time? Nightfall. Rabbi Hakadosh could have just said nightfall. When does one begin to recite the Shema? A person who opens the Mishnah and he asks what he should do. The answer is nightfall, when the stars come out. Recite the Shema from nightfall. Instead, Rabbi Hakadosh complicates things for the person and throws him entirely into the laws of impurity and purity, the laws of priesthood and holiness, and all these matters, and tells him when? From the time when the priests enter to eat their teruma. Seemingly why? Let them state the law simply in an understandable way. From when do we recite the Shema in the evening? From the time the stars come out. Much simpler and better. Did anyone, after the question we asked yesterday, think of an answer? Or does anyone here want to hear a new answer? Righteous ones. What? Words of the commander from the rabbi. How did you hear him?
Heard. Rabbi, can I say something?
Like, who exactly are the priests? Who are the truly righteous individuals and so on? They are those who faithfully serve God. A person.
Whoever truly desires, as the rabbi once said, to fulfill the divine will of heaven. So what then? He will go to the righteous and holy ones. He will go to fulfill the will of heaven. But who exactly will benefit from this in the end? Because
Serving God's knowledge, the beginning of why complicate people? Teaching them doesn't complicate things. Regarding Shemitah, the debts and breaking, you know how it works. So let me tell you, righteous ones, we really thought about this, we studied it and thought about it. If we look and consider Zait HaKochavim, the appearance of the stars, this term is seemingly false. We can't say it's false because it's written in the Torah, but it's something that's not correct. What is Zait HaKochavim? What is something that comes out? Something born and renewed, something that suddenly enters the world. It exists in the world, but stays hidden at times, not always present. It doesn't just come out, it simply appears. It is renewed, it returns, it doesn't suddenly come out and arrive in the world. What is something that comes out? Something that is just now born. Every night when the sun sets and darkness begins in the world, do the stars come out? Are the stars born? Do the stars move from one place to another? No, they don't come out, rather they simply begin to appear. During the day, there is the sun, which is very strong, very fast, and very powerful, and at that time, that's why we don't see the light of the stars. At night, the sun sets, the sun goes down, and then there is less light in the world, so it's possible to see the light of the stars, which is relatively more delicate, tiny, and small. So, at first glance, this expression, the emergence of the stars, isn't really accurate, because emergence implies something that comes out, returns, arrives, moves from one place to another. The stars don't come out. The stars are in the same place all the time, constantly, throughout all time, appearing and existing in the sky. When the sun is present, you can see them. When the sun isn't present, you can't see them. So it would be more accurate to say the return of the stars, or the visibility of the stars, not the emergence of the stars. But in the past, in ancient times, people didn't know how the world operated. People lived here in this world and didn't know what was happening outside the atmosphere or what was going on in the heavens. So what did they think? That the stars come out, they can't be seen during the day. Every night, suddenly the stars appear again. They thought the stars come out at night. That's why people were mistaken and thought that the stars come out. The Torah wrote and spoke in the language of people, saying the stars come out. Back then, people didn't know everything that exists outside the world. Like Rabbi Netanyahu writes regarding the Tower of Babel, that the generation of the dispersion built the Tower of Babel and wanted to reach the heavens. That's why they wanted to go outside the entire world. It's impossible, after all, if a person goes outside the world, outside the atmosphere, it's infinite. A person could build and build and build, even with all the trees and poles in the world, he would never reach the heavens. So he writes, he knew with his Holy Spirit that outside the world there is no gravity. Only in the world is there gravity, so that if a person lifts something and lets it go, it falls by itself. Outside the atmosphere, this doesn't exist. Instead, the object rises and ascends. So he said, they told themselves, we are people of the tower that will be able to reach only the edge of the earth. That can be built. From there, we will already fly by ourselves through the air and reach outside to a place that is beyond all spaces and all places, and we will reach the heavens where the Holy One, blessed be He, is. The righteous knew this, but the common people did not. So what does emergence of stars mean literally? It refers to something new that suddenly comes into existence in the world. It wasn't there, it didn't exist, it wasn't present, and suddenly it is found, renewed, exists, and comes out into the world. This is what the expression, the emergence of the stars, actually tells us and conveys to us. We know that this expression is not accurate. Why? Because nothing truly becomes new in the world. Everything already exists and is present in the world. Things simply emerge and are revealed through a process. Gradually things are revealed. They are revealed more and more. So if Rabbi, the Holy One, blessed be He, the Nasi, had equated two things, the recitation of the Shema and the time when a person, the time called the emergence of the stars, people would have learned the mitzvah of reciting the Shema, the mitzvah of accepting the yoke of heaven from the time of the emergence of the stars. They would say, we want to accept upon ourselves the yoke of heaven, we want to recite the Shema. What is it like? What is the action similar to? What does it accomplish? The emergence of the stars. The stars are revealed, the stars come out, the stars suddenly appear anew. There was no star, and suddenly there is a star. Even when we accept upon ourselves the yoke of heaven, what are we actually doing? We are creating holiness within ourselves. We are renewing the holiness within us. There was no holiness within us, and now suddenly we have holiness. A person, before reciting the Shema, did not have holiness within him. After reciting the Shema, after he has fully accepted the yoke of heaven, after he has devoted and nullified himself to the Holy One, blessed be He, then he renews the holiness within himself, and from nothing and from emptiness, he manages to grow holiness within himself. But that's not true. A Jew has holiness in every situation. A Jew has purity in every situation. The holiness, the purity, the divine soul are already within a person. They do not need to be renewed in a person. They do not suddenly need to be born from nothing in a person. Absolutely not. When a person recites the Shema, what is he doing? He accepts upon himself the yoke of heaven. He removes impurity from himself, removes foreign perspectives, removes false beliefs, and connects to the Holy One. Blessed be He. He is not creating holiness from nothing. The holiness that already exists is suddenly revealed. That is why Rabbi Hakadosh avoided writing the term nightfall. The idea of stars coming out is technically incorrect and could mislead people into thinking the holiness they accept and the Shema are their own creation. Thus, the rabbi chose a different concept.